Hey there, my friend. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe. Before we begin, I want you to know that this video is special. Yes, it's going to help you understand the secret to English fluency, but it's also your practice session. You can listen along to improve your listening skills. You can shadow my words, repeat what I say, to practice your pronunciation and speaking rhythm. You can use this as your daily English practice time. So get comfortable, maybe grab a notebook, and let's practice English together while we learn something that will change your learning journey forever. I know why you're here. I know why you clicked on this video. You want to speak English better, don't you? And maybe you're feeling a little tired. Maybe you've tried so many times before. Maybe you're starting to wonder if you'll ever really become fluent. I want you to know something important. You're not alone. I see you. I understand your struggle. And I'm here to tell you that everything you've been feeling, the frustration, the doubt, the fear, it's all completely normal. But today, as we practice English together, I want to share something with you that will change everything. Not because I'm going to give you a magic trick or a secret method, but because I'm going to show you something you already have inside you, something powerful, something beautiful. You have the ability to become fluent in English. You really do. And I believe in you, even if you don't believe in yourself right now. Let me ask you something, and please be honest with yourself. Not to judge you, but to help you see clearly. How many English courses have you started but never finished? How many times have you said, "This time will be different," but then quietly stopped after a few weeks? It's okay. Really, it's okay. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not bad at languages. You know what you are? You're human. And humans sometimes struggle with consistency. It's one of the most natural things in the world. But here's what I want you to understand. The people who become fluent in English aren't different from you. They're not smarter. They don't have special talents. They just learned one simple secret that changed everything for them. They learned how to be gentle with themselves while still moving forward every day. The secret isn't about finding the perfect course or the perfect teacher. The secret isn't about studying 8 hours a day or memorizing 100 new words. The secret is about showing up for yourself every single day, even if it's just for 15 minutes, with love and patience. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah from Colombia. When I first met her, she was crying, actually crying. She told me, "I'm 35 years old. I've been trying to learn English for 10 years. I think I'm just too stupid." My heart broke for her because I could see how much pain she was carrying. All those years of feeling like a failure. All those nights wondering what was wrong with her. "Sarah," I said gently, "you're not stupid. You're just tired, and that's okay. But I want to ask you something. In those 10 years, how many days did you actually practice English?" She thought about it. "Well, I studied really hard sometimes, like really hard for a few days. Then I'd get busy with work and family and..." "How many days total, do you think? Maybe 100 days over 10 years? That's when everything became clear. Sarah wasn't failing because she couldn't learn English. She was struggling because she was trying to learn it in big, exhausting bursts instead of small, loving steps. We changed everything that day. Instead of studying for 3 hours twice a week until she felt overwhelmed, Sarah started giving herself just 15 minutes of English every single day. Just 15 minutes of kindness to herself. She would listen to simple English stories during her coffee break. She would write 3 sentences in English before bed. She would speak to herself in English while getting dressed in the morning. Some days she felt motivated. Some days she felt tired. But every day she gave herself those 15 minutes, like a gift, like a hug, like a promise that she was worth this investment. 6 months later, Sarah was speaking English at her job. 1 year later, she got promoted because of her English skills. 2 years later, she started teaching English to her friends. Not because she became perfect, but because she became consistent and gentle and patient with herself. Sarah learned that fluency isn't about being fast or flawless. It's about being faithful to your daily practice and kind to your daily progress.
Think about a gentle river for a moment. It doesn't rush, it doesn't force, it doesn't fight against the rocks in its path. It simply flows around them, day after day, until it reaches the ocean. That's exactly how successful English learning works. You don't need to push yourself so hard that you break. You don't need to study until your brain hurts. You just need to flow gently and consistently toward your fluency. When grammar feels confusing, you don't need to fight it. Just flow around it. Try a different explanation. Ask for help. Be patient with yourself. When speaking feels scary, you don't need to force yourself into big conversations. Just start with small words to yourself. Flow gently into longer sentences. Trust the process. When you make mistakes, and you will make mistakes, because that's how learning works, don't be angry with yourself. Smile. Say, that's okay, I'm learning, and keep flowing. I remember Miguel from Mexico. He used to get so frustrated when he couldn't pronounce words correctly. He would practice the same word 50 times in a row, getting angrier and angrier with each mistake. Miguel, I told him, you're fighting the river. Stop fighting. Just flow. We changed his practice completely. Instead of forcing pronunciation for an hour until he felt angry, Miguel started practicing for just 5 minutes a day with kindness and patience. No anger, no force, just gentle, loving practice. He would choose one word each day. He would say it softly, listen to native speakers say it, and practice it with a smile. If he made a mistake, he would laugh gently and try again. 3 months later, his pronunciation was beautiful, not because he fought harder, but because he learned to flow with love instead of force. The river always reaches the ocean, and your gentle daily practice will always reach fluency. Here's something beautiful I want you to understand. Big dreams come true through small, loving actions. You don't become fluent by studying 8 hours one day and then nothing for a week. You become fluent by giving yourself 20 minutes of English every day with love and patience. You don't learn to speak by forcing yourself into scary conversations before you're ready. You learn by talking to yourself in the mirror for 2 minutes each morning, building confidence slowly and safely. You don't master listening by torturing yourself with movies you can't understand. You master it by listening to simple, enjoyable content that makes you smile. Small steps taken with love become giant leaps over time. Let me tell you about Maria from Brazil. She felt so overwhelmed by all the English she wanted to learn. She said, "There's so much. Grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, listening, speaking. I don't know where to start." I said, "Maria, what if you just chose one tiny thing? What if you just learned one new English word every day? Just one. With love, with curiosity, without pressure." She looked at me like I was crazy. "One word? That's nothing. That's too slow." "Maria, I trust you. Start with one word." So she did. Every morning, Maria would learn one new English word. She would write it down, use it in a sentence, and smile when she remembered it. Just one word. No pressure, no rush. After 1 month, she had 30 new words. After 6 months, 180 words. After a year, 365 new words. That's enough vocabulary to have real conversations. But more importantly, Maria had built something precious: confidence. She had proven to herself that she could be consistent. She had learned to be patient and kind with herself. After that first year, Maria naturally wanted to do more. She added 5 minutes of listening practice, then 5 minutes of speaking to herself, then 10 minutes of reading simple stories. Her English learning grew organically, like a beautiful garden, because it was built on a foundation of self-love and gentle consistency. Today, Maria speaks English fluently. When people ask her her secret, she smiles and says, "I started with one word a day and was patient with myself." Small steps taken with love become miracles over time. Here's something that might happen when you start being consistent with English. Some people might not understand. Your family might say, "Why do you study every day? That seems like too much." Your friends might tease you. "You're always with your English books." Even you might start wondering if you're doing too much. Let me tell you something important. You're not doing too much. You're doing something beautiful. You're taking care of your dreams. You're being kind to your future self. When I first started learning my second language, some people thought I was obsessed. "You don't need to practice every day. Just relax." But you know what? I wasn't obsessed. I was committed. There's a big difference. Being obsessed means pushing yourself until you break. Being committed means showing up with love even when others don't understand. You're not hurting anyone by practicing English every day. You're not being selfish by chasing your dreams. You're being responsible. You're being loving. You're being wise. Let me tell you about Carlos from Argentina. His friends used to laugh at him. "Carlos is always listening to English podcasts," they would say. "He takes English everywhere he goes." Carlos felt embarrassed at first. Maybe he was being too serious about English. Maybe he should be more relaxed, like his friends. But then something beautiful happened. Carlos got a job opportunity that required English skills. His friends, who had been laughing at his daily practice, were now asking him for help. How did you learn English so well? They asked, amazed. Carlos smiled gently. I practiced a little bit every day. While you were watching TV, I was listening to English. While you were scrolling social media, I was reading English stories. I was patient with myself, and time did the rest. Those 20 minutes you spend on English each day, that's not time taken away from your family or friends. That's time invested in becoming someone who can communicate with the whole world, someone who can help more people, someone who can create more opportunities for everyone you love. Be proud of your commitment. It's beautiful. It's wise. It's an act of love for yourself and your future. There's a voice inside your head. You know the one I'm talking about. It says things like, "You're too old to learn English now. You're not smart enough. Other people learn faster than you. You should just give up." That voice can be so loud sometimes, so mean, so convincing. But I want you to know something. That voice is not telling you the truth. That voice is scared. It's scared of change. It's scared of growth. It's scared of you becoming amazing. And you know what? That's okay. It's normal to have that scared voice inside. Everyone has it. Even the most confident English speakers had that voice when they were learning. The secret isn't to fight that voice or hate it. The secret is to be gentle with it, like you would with a scared child. When that voice says, "You can't do this," you can say back, softly and kindly, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe. I'm just learning, and learning is beautiful." When it says, "You're too slow," you can respond, "That's okay. I'm not racing anyone. I'm growing at my own perfect pace." When it says, "You made a mistake," you can smile and say, "Yes, I did, and that's how I learn. Mistakes are my teachers." Let me tell you about Fatima from Morocco. That scared voice in her head was so loud that she almost quit learning English completely. "I'm 45 years old," the voice would say. "It's too late for me." "Everyone else is younger and smarter," it would whisper. "You'll never sound like a native speaker," it would insist. Fatima believed that voice for months. She stopped practicing. She convinced herself that English was for younger people. But then she met her neighbor's daughter, a 7-year-old girl who was learning to ride a bicycle. Every day, this little girl would fall down, get back up, and try again. She never got angry at herself. She never said she was too old or not talented enough. If she can be so patient and kind with herself while learning something difficult, Fatima thought, why can't I? Fatima started talking to that scared voice like she would talk to a worried friend. Instead of fighting it, she comforted it. "I understand you're scared," she would say gently, "but we're going to learn English slowly and safely. There's no rush. There's no pressure. We're just going to practice a little bit each day with love." The voice got quieter. Fatima got braver. Today, she speaks English confidently and helps other women in her community who want to learn. Be gentle with that scared voice. Don't fight it.
Just love it, and then keep moving forward anyway. Can I tell you something that might surprise you? Mistakes are not your enemies. Mistakes are your best friends. Every mistake you make in English is a gift. It's your brain's way of saying, hey, look here, this is where I can grow. But somewhere along the way, maybe in school or maybe from other people, you learned to be afraid of mistakes. You learned to feel ashamed when you got something wrong. I want to help you unlearn that. I want to help you fall in love with your mistakes. When a baby is learning to walk, do we get angry when they fall down? Of course not. We smile, we cheer, we help them get back up. We celebrate every tiny step, even the wobbly ones. Your English mistakes deserve the same love and celebration. Let me tell you about David from South Korea. He was so afraid of making pronunciation mistakes that he barely spoke at all. He would whisper English words to himself, too scared to say them out loud. He knew thousands of English words. His grammar was excellent, but his fear of mistakes kept him silent. David, I told him, what if we celebrated your mistakes? What if every mistake was a reason to smile instead of worry? We started a mistake journal. Every day, David wrote down one English mistake he made and one thing he learned from it. Instead of feeling bad about mistakes, he started collecting them like treasures. Today I said I have 25 years old instead of I am 25 years old, he would write. I learned that we use to be with age, not to have. This mistake taught me something valuable. 3 months later, David was speaking English loudly and proudly, not because he stopped making mistakes, but because he learned to love them. His mistakes had become his teachers. His fear had become his friend. Today, David says, "My mistakes made me fluent. Every mistake was a stepping stone to better English." Your mistakes are not signs that you're failing. They're signs that you're trying. They're signs that you're brave. They're signs that you're growing. Be proud of your mistakes. They're proof that you're learning. They're evidence that you're moving forward. They're beautiful. I want to make you a promise, but first I need you to make a promise to yourself. Promise me, promise yourself that you'll give English just 15 minutes every day for the next month. Just 15 minutes. Not 2 hours, not when you feel motivated, just 15 gentle, loving minutes. Maybe it's 15 minutes of listening to English songs you enjoy. Maybe it's 15 minutes of reading simple English stories. Maybe it's 15 minutes of talking to yourself in English about your day. Maybe it's 15 minutes of writing in an English journal. Maybe it's 15 minutes of shadowing videos like this one. Whatever feels good to you, whatever feels kind and gentle and possible. Now, here's my promise to you. If you give yourself those 15 minutes every day with love and patience, your relationship with English will completely change. You won't just learn more English, you'll start believing in yourself more. You'll start trusting that you can keep promises to yourself. You'll start feeling proud of your consistency. And here's the beautiful secret. After 1 month of 15-minute days, you won't want to stop. Not because someone is forcing you, but because it will feel so good to be kind to yourself in this way. Let me tell you about Ana from Argentina. She was a single mom working 2 jobs. She told me, "I don't have time for English. Exhausted." I asked, "Do you have 15 minutes while your daughter does homework?" She said, "Maybe." Ana started reading simple English stories for 15 minutes while her daughter studied. Just 15 minutes, just 3 times a week at first. But something magical happened. Those 15 minutes became the most peaceful part of Ana's day. No stress, no pressure, just quiet learning, just time for herself. The stories she read were beautiful. Some made her laugh, some made her think. Some taught her about other countries and cultures. Soon, she was finding 15 minutes every day, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. It was her gift to herself, her moment of peace, her time to grow. 6 months later, Ana was helping English-speaking customers at her job. 1 year later, she got a better job that required English skills. 2 years later, she was promoted to supervisor, all from 15 minutes of daily kindness to herself. Your 15 minutes can do the same for you.
Learning English isn't like building a house quickly and roughly. It's like growing a beautiful garden, slowly and lovingly. You don't plant a seed today and expect a flower tomorrow. You water it gently, give it sunlight, protect it from storms, and trust that it's growing even when you can't see it. Your English is growing the same way. Every day you practice, even when you can't see improvement, your English brain is getting stronger. Your confidence is growing. Your fluency is developing. But just like a garden, your English needs daily care. Not harsh, forceful care. Gentle, loving care. Some days your English garden will bloom beautifully. You'll understand everything you hear. You'll speak without fear. You'll feel amazing. Other days will be like winter in your garden. Nothing seems to grow. Words feel difficult. Speaking feels scary. Understanding feels impossible. That's okay. Winter is important too. It's when the roots grow deeper. Let me tell you about Roberto from Peru. He had been learning English for 6 months with beautiful consistency. Every day, 20 minutes of practice. Every day, gentle progress. But then he hit what felt like a wall. For 2 weeks, nothing seemed to improve. He felt stuck, frustrated, ready to quit. "Roberto," I told him, "you're not stuck. You're in your English winter. Your brain is processing everything you've learned. It's organizing all that knowledge. It's getting ready for spring." "But I don't feel like I'm improving," he said sadly. "Trust the process," I replied. "Keep watering your garden even in winter." Roberto trusted me. He kept his daily practice, even when it felt pointless. He was gentle with himself during this difficult time. 3 weeks later, something amazing happened. Roberto watched an English movie and understood everything. Not just the words, but the jokes, the emotions, the cultural references. "It's like someone turned on a light in my brain," he told me, amazed. That was Roberto's spring. All that winter practice had been working silently, preparing for this breakthrough. Don't give up during your English winter. Keep watering your garden with those daily minutes of practice. Keep believing that spring is coming, because it always does. Here's something I wish someone had told me when I was learning my second language. The most important skill you can develop is not grammar or vocabulary or pronunciation. The most important skill is being kind to yourself. When you're kind to yourself, learning becomes joyful instead of stressful. When you're kind to yourself, mistakes become teachers instead of failures. When you're kind to yourself, slow progress becomes acceptable instead of frustrating. When you're kind to yourself, difficult days become temporary instead of permanent. Let me share something personal with you. When I was learning French, I was so mean to myself. Every mistake felt like proof that I was stupid. Every slow day felt like failure. Every pronunciation error felt like embarrassment. I would say terrible things to myself like, "You're so slow. Everyone else is better than you. You'll never be fluent. You're wasting your time." And you know what happened? I almost quit. Not because French was too hard, but because I was being too cruel to myself. Learning became stressful instead of enjoyable. Practice became punishment instead of gift. Progress became impossible because I was fighting against myself instead of working with myself. Then I met a teacher who changed everything. She said, "Talk to yourself like you would talk to a dear friend who's learning something new." "What would you say to a friend who made the same mistake you just made?" she asked. I thought about it. I would say, "That's okay. You're learning. Everyone makes mistakes. You're doing great. Keep going." "Then why don't you say that to yourself?" she smiled. From that day, everything changed. When I made a mistake, instead of saying, "You're so stupid," I started saying, "That's okay. You're learning." When progress felt slow, instead of saying, "You're failing," I started saying, "You're doing your best and that's enough." When pronunciation felt difficult, instead of saying, "You'll never sound good," I started saying, "Every practice session makes you better." Learning French became beautiful, not because it got easier, but because I got kinder. My progress actually accelerated when I stopped being mean to myself. When I relaxed, my brain could focus on learning instead of defending against my own criticism. Be your own best friend on this English journey. You deserve that kindness. You need that support. You will flourish under that love. Here's something amazing about consistent, gentle English practice. Your efforts don't just add up, they multiply. When you learn 5 new words today, they help you understand 10 new words tomorrow. When you practice speaking for 10 minutes today, it gives you confidence for 20 minutes tomorrow. When you listen to English for 15 minutes today, your brain processes it even while you sleep. Everything builds on everything else, like a beautiful snowball of learning rolling gently down a hill. Let me tell you about Roberto from Peru. He started learning just 3 new English words every day. Just 3 words. It seemed so small that his friends laughed. They said, "3 words? That will take you forever to learn English." But Roberto was patient. He trusted the process. Every day, he learned 3 new words with love and curiosity. After 1 month, he had 90 new words. After 3 months, 270 words. After a year, over 1,000 new words. But something even more beautiful happened. Those words started connecting with each other. He began understanding conversations. He started speaking more confidently. He even began thinking in English sometimes. The 3 words he learned in January helped him understand the words he learned in February. The grammar he practiced in March made the vocabulary from April more useful. Everything was building on everything else. After 2 years, Roberto was fluent, not because he studied 8 hours a day, but because he was consistent and patient with 3 words a day. It was like magic, he tells me now, but slow magic, patient magic, gentle magic. You might think your daily 15 minutes of practice is too small to matter, but I promise you it's like planting a seed that will grow into a beautiful tree. Every minute you spend with English is an investment in your future. Every word you learn makes the next word easier. Every mistake you make with kindness makes you braver for the next attempt. Trust the compound effect. Trust your consistency. Trust yourself.
Some days
you might feel like you're not improving fast enough. You might look at other English learners and think they're moving faster than you. You might get frustrated and wonder if you're doing something wrong. Can I tell you something important? Progress isn't always visible, but it's always happening. Think about a tree growing. You don't see it growing every day, but it's always growing. Underground, the roots are getting stronger. Inside, the tree is developing. Even in winter, when everything looks dead, the tree is preparing for spring. Your English is the same. Even on days when you feel stuck, your brain is processing. Even when speaking feels hard, your confidence is building. Even when you make mistakes, your understanding is deepening. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle. Trust that every moment of practice is valuable, even when you can't see immediate results. I remember Sophia from Italy. After 3 months of daily practice, she felt discouraged. "I still make so many mistakes," she told me sadly. "I still can't understand movies. I still feel nervous when I speak." "Sophia," I said, "let's listen to a recording you made 3 months ago." When she heard her old recording, her eyes filled with tears, but happy tears. "I sound so different now," she said, amazed. "I can't believe how much I've improved." Sometimes we can't see our progress because we're too close to it. We focus on what we can't do instead of celebrating what we can do now. Sophia couldn't see that her pronunciation had become clearer, her sentences more natural, her confidence stronger. She was so focused on her remaining challenges that she missed her beautiful growth. Let me tell you something else about Sophia's journey. 3 months after that recording session, she watched her first English movie without subtitles and understood most of it. 6 months later, she was having confident conversations with English speakers. 1 year later, she moved to London for work. But it all started with recognizing the progress she had already made. Your progress is real, even when you can't see it. Your efforts are working, even when results feel slow. Your consistency is paying off, even when you feel discouraged. Trust your growth, even when you can't see it. One of the most important things you can do for your English journey is create a safe space for practice. A space where you can make mistakes without judgment. A space where you can sound silly without embarrassment. A space where you can be gentle with yourself. This might be your bedroom, where you practice speaking to yourself in the mirror. This might be your car, where you sing along to English songs. This might be your journal, where you write simple English sentences about your day. This might be a quiet app on your phone where you practice pronunciation. This might be videos like this one, where you can shadow and practice listening. The important thing is that this space feels safe and loving. Let me tell you about Fatima from Morocco. She was so scared to speak English in front of others that she barely practiced speaking at all. She understood a lot, but her speaking confidence was zero. "Fatima," I said, "what if you created a space where only you and English exists, where no one can judge you, where you can be completely free?" She started practicing in her bathroom mirror for 5 minutes every morning. Just her, the mirror, and English. No pressure, No judgment, just safe practice. At first, she felt silly, but slowly she started enjoying those 5 minutes. She would tell her reflection about her plans for the day. She would practice conversations she might have at work. She would even sing English songs softly. Her bathroom became her English sanctuary, her safe space, her place of growth. After 2 months, she had built so much confidence in her safe space that she started speaking English with her coworkers. The safe practice had made her brave. My bathroom mirror was my first English teacher. She laughs now. It never judged me. It never corrected me. It just let me practice with love. Create your safe English space. Protect it. Love it. Use it every day. You deserve a place where you can learn without fear. You deserve a space where mistakes are welcome. You deserve a sanctuary where your English can grow safely. Can I tell you something that might surprise you? Your accent is not a problem to fix. Your accent is a gift to celebrate. Your accent tells a story. It tells the world where you come from, what languages you speak, what cultures live inside you. It's beautiful and unique and valuable. Yes, you want to be understood when you speak English. Yes, clear pronunciation is important, but you don't need to sound like a native English speaker to be amazing at English. Some of the most inspiring English speakers I know have strong accents. They speak with confidence, clarity, and joy. They don't apologize for their accents, they own them proudly. Let me tell you about Raj from India. He used to be so embarrassed about his accent that he barely spoke English, even though his grammar and vocabulary were excellent. People will laugh at me, he worried. They'll think I sound funny. Raj, I told him, your accent is part of your identity. It's part of what makes you unique and interesting. Don't hide it. Celebrate it. We worked on clear pronunciation, not to eliminate his accent, but to make sure he could be easily understood. We focused on confidence and clarity, not on sounding like someone else. I showed Raj videos of successful people from India speaking English with their natural accents. Politicians, business people, teachers, actors, all speaking confidently and beautifully in their own unique way. They're not trying to sound American or British. They're being authentically themselves, and people respect them for it. Today, Raj gives presentations to international audiences. His accent is still there, and it's beautiful. People remember him, not in spite of his accent, but partly because of it. It makes him distinctive and authentic. His confidence transformed not just his English, but his whole personality. He stopped hiding who he was and started celebrating it. Work on being clear. Work on being confident, but don't work on hiding who you are. Your accent is part of your story, and your story is beautiful.
My dear friend, we've come to the end of our time together today, but this is really just the beginning for you. You now know the secret that changes everything. English fluency comes through gentle, consistent practice combined with enormous self-compassion. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. You don't need to be like anyone else. You just need to be kind to yourself and show up every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I want you to remember this conversation. I want you to smile at yourself in the mirror and say, I believe in you. I'm proud of you, and I'm going to be gentle with you today. Then,
Give yourself 15 minutes of English practice. Not because you have to, but because you deserve to chase your dreams. Listen to this video again if you need encouragement. Shadow my words if you want pronunciation practice. Use this as your daily English time if it feels good to you. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Millions of people around the world are learning English with love and patience just like you. Some days will be easier than others. That's okay. Some days you'll feel motivated. Others you'll need to rely on gentle habit. That's normal. What matters is that you keep going. What matters is that you stay kind to yourself. What matters is that you never, ever give up on your beautiful English dreams. You have the power to become fluent. You have the strength to be consistent. You have the wisdom to be patient with yourself. Your English dreams are not too big. They're not impossible. They're not meant for other people, but not for you. They're meant for you, and you deserve to achieve them. I believe in you, not because you're perfect, but because you're human, because you have a heart that dreams and a spirit that doesn't give up. Your journey of English fluency starts with your next practice session. Make it loving. Make it gentle. Make it yours. Remember, 15 minutes of daily practice, unlimited self-compassion, and unshakable belief in yourself. That's the recipe for English fluency. That's the recipe for success. That's the recipe for a beautiful learning journey. Your story of English success is about to begin. Take it one loving step at a time. You've got this, my friend. You really, truly do. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. Thank you for caring about your English dreams. Thank you for being brave enough to keep trying even when it's been difficult. Thank you for practicing your listening with me. Thank you for shadowing when you felt like it. Thank you for believing that this video could help you. If this message touched your heart, please share it with another English learner who might need to hear these words. We're all in this journey together, and your support could be exactly what someone needs today. Before you go, make one promise to yourself. Tomorrow, you will give yourself 15 minutes of gentle English practice. Not because I ask you to, but because you deserve to pursue your dreams. Your future fluent self is waiting for you with arms wide open, proud of every step you're about to take. Remember, be patient with yourself. Be kind to your mistakes. Be proud of your consistency. Your English journey is beautiful, and so are you. Until we meet again, keep flowing toward your dreams, one loving step at a time. You are capable of amazing things. Your English fluency is closer than you think. Now go out there and show the world what gentle consistency can do. I believe in you always.